Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. I want to just mention Sheila over at Celtic Tarot just did a reading on my reading. I'm really impressed that she asked me first. I think that was a super nice thing to do. And also I thought she was pretty awesome. I really appreciate that people are working on their intuition right now. I think that is a greater message. That's what we can do to really make big changes. They might well start with ourselves before they move out to another place. She also just mentioned that a lot of people were talking about these ships. I guess I'm not the only one who saw ships. I often feel like when I see these things that they are symbolic as well as actual. So they are real. It may be really a specific ship, but they're also symbolic of other things. I did not get much further with knowing exactly what that ship's about, so I'm going to give it another look. So, Spirit, is this ship thing over? Did it already come to pass? Kinda. I get it, kinda. I'll just tell you guys, when Spirit does this, it's like enough. This isn't quite enough. It's kind of like, this is enough and this is go forward, and I'm kind of getting both. So I think that what I'm feeling here is that it is a little thing that is going to happen. It may be two ships almost missing each other, or even a sort of bomb just missing the ship or something. I think that may well still happen. But I feel like what I was really seeing has just to do with America's lost influence on a decreasing power in the world, especially regarding China. If you can get away from the news that we're all watching about COVID, on a world stage, America's Trump presidency has been an absolute disaster. Right? And I can tell you this, I live closer to Asia. I can see our influence just waning right now. Everybody thinks America's crazy. So, I think that's exactly what Sheila saw. And I can also really appreciate it when you go beyond the cards, you guys. When you kind of just start feeling it, not just the cards. That's a great way to do this work. So anything more? Do we get anything more about this? And I'm getting a no. You don't need to go any further with this one. You saw what you saw. So let's ask a new question here. And the question I think I'm just going to put down is, what's next for the Trumpocalypse here? So again, I'm kind of getting almost like what are those rockets that go through the water? What are they called? Sorry, you guys. When I do the work, I forget sometimes nouns. Let's just call it the water missile, whatever. Again, another one of those things, but it's a dud, and it's coming from Trump. So part of it, I feel like, is like Trump's sort of broadsides attempts to attack. They're just, whatever they are, they're just failures. Oh, I wonder also if this, it's also about Bolton's book. Because Bolton has shown us that these pretense, the pretense that it's China's fault and he's tough on China is totally fake. Trump has been kissing some serious butt with China, according to Bolton. Yeah, that's closer. Okay, it's these I'm gonna be a tough guy things are fake. They're just totally faked. They're just an image, and there's nothing to them. And that's what he's going to be doing. So in a way, I feel like this is very good news. Trump's going to try. He's going to fail. It is looking really bad for him. It's looking really dire. Trump is in a position where he feels like they're closing in. The White House is like a prison. And it's like the forest is standing up and walking and enclosing him. That's one reason why I went down to the bunker. So I see him attempt, missiles attempt, they fire, they don't really go anywhere. They're always just missing their target. And I think that's another greater way that we could look at Trump's, missiles. And I'm kind of getting a North Korea feeling too. This is another aspect, I think, of the same missiles, is that North Korea is really demanding concessions, and they're going to keep doing that, and they're going to be firing their own missiles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that the real actual event, boat, missile, all that stuff, is really a North Korea issue. That's what they're going to try to do. And again, it doesn't seem to hit anybody. It's a threat, but it's a very close threat. And it's putting Trump in a really difficult position. Because they have the power. Trump has no power right now. Trump is very weak. He perceives himself as a man who's going to go to jail if he doesn't win the election. So he's got to do anything to win the election, which means he gives a lot of power away and makes a lot of mistakes. And he'll just do anything that's desperate. You notice, you guys, this is really positive news. None of the tricks that the Trumps were using before are working. The distractions, the I know you are, but what am I? They're failed. He keeps trying to use the same tactics and they're failing. Take heart, everyone, and also take heart in the very awesome and peaceful protests. You notice those protests have become more peaceful. You notice when you look at that, you see a rainbow of people. All people have come out for this. So it's pretty depressing to know that we live in a nation that is still racist, but it should be heartening also to know that that's the thing. That racism changed people's minds. And even, 53% of Republicans think that the police is out of control and needs to be changed. It's not one bad apple. Even Republicans, there's something about this particular death that did turn the page. So it's maybe good that at least racism was that thing that was so despicable to Americans that most of them changed their minds. Again, why didn't that happen 2 years ago? I don't know. But it has happened now. And maybe it's cumulative. But do notice the power in this. Do notice that the protests have become more and more peaceful. People are starting to get under control. I'd really like it if the Democratic Party came out and told us, practically speaking, what they're going to do, and that they connected somehow with the protesters. I don't know why that isn't happening, but it isn't. I think it will, but we can't stop working here. But Trump is impotent. Really, what has to happen is we all got to start working on the Democrats to make sure that there's some things in the platform that we want. Because honestly, they'll just shuffle around and move stuff around and not do anything unless we make them. Yeah, just Trump just he looks so frustrated. He looks like such a failure. There is no chance he's going to win. It's just not going to happen right now. So, give yourself a big deep breath, we missed that one. It's not going to be easy from here on in. But at least the dictator is pacified and incompetent. No one's going to follow him. You notice all those really loud Republicans? They're not very loud anymore. All those, kind of Proud Boy type Republicans. You're not hearing a word from them now, are you? So even they're not supporting him and his crazy behavior. Bolton shows up. I think this Bolton book is going to be a bigger deal than we thought. We kind of lost sight of it, and Bolton's, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest traitor ever to walk the planet. He's not a malignant narcissist as Trump is, so he's no good person. But that, in a way, makes its case even better. How many good times has that guy's been on Fox News? So they're going to have to carry his information, which is going to spring forth. He's got his arms crossed, and he's looking really slick, yeah. He's played this the way that he wants. Again, it's for himself more than America, but that's less important now than when we look at this book and the work that he's got in it. Yeah, it will make a surprisingly big difference. You notice also that the focus is not on Trump, it will become on Bolton, and that will just drive Trump crazy. And Trump is going to have to go on TV, and just like Comey, he's going to have to disparage him and say, 12 angry editors or something like that. And it's, Fox News watchers are going to watch him. They're going to watch Bolton. Look, there is going to be some near conflict in the world. I'm still seeing ships. They're American Navy ships. I wonder if it could be more than one place even, and I don't see a conflict, but I see ships near conflict, like political stress, shots fired. It doesn't seem to go too far at the moment, but shots fired. Hmm. All right. Now, it's funny because Stacey Abrams is kind of knocking on my door right now. I'm just going to ask her. So, Stacey, do you think Biden's going to pick you for the VP? I assume that's why you are here. Is Biden going to pick you? She's thinking, yeah. She's thinking pretty much, yeah. I'm kind of getting like 90% yeah. I don't think it will be, I don't think it'll be another. Show me more, Stacey. Show me more. I gotta tell you, just when I don't know that much about Stacey Abrams, but in this moment, she feels really nice. She feels really warm and cuddly. I don't know anything about her policies at all, but this feeling is quite a nice one. And let's just put it this way, I trust her. I don't know how to put that any differently, but I trust her. She appears as someone who has my interests at heart. This is really important. As a counter to Trump, people are going to look for people who are big-hearted. It almost doesn't matter what their policies are so much, as long as the person in that seat cares about you as a human. And you notice also that she's a quite, ordinary-looking person. She doesn't look, coiffed and rich and, well-dressed and all that stuff. She doesn't look that way. She looks just like a regular person. And I think that's a very good thing, that we can finally have just a regular human in the White House, even if it's a vice president, not a political figure who's calculating and trying to present in a certain way. Well, let's ask Biden. You're going to choose her. Biden's kind of thinking yes. Look, I don't think it's 100% yet, but I see Stacey Abrams. Again, I don't think it's 100%, but we're getting pretty dang close. So, Spirit, show me something more. Again, I get Stacey Abrams. So, I think she's a fairly likely candidate for the vice presidency. Also, don't underestimate the vice presidency. It's going to be a much more important vice presidency than most. It might be more than half the work this time around. It's going to be very life-changing. This, and not just for her, but for everyone. the person that is picked as vice president is going to change the way everything works. And more how we perceive the vice presidency and what it's supposed to do. Right? So it will not be the typical competitive. This one will be much more an opening up. Okay. Anything more? Yeah, I do get her being sworn in. It's possible that that could be in another role, because I see her hand on the Bible and the American flag and stuff. But I keep seeing Biden's face next to hers. It makes me think that she's a pretty likely contender. All right, thanks for watching.